Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome into LRTV. You are tuned in with your girl, Leah Renee, and you are watching the Real Lifestyle Morning Show. It is Friday, March 20. What day is it? It's March 25th, 2022. I think it is anyway. Yeah, it's March 25th, 2022. It's Friday. It feels like it's a Monday because I just recently started working a job. I'm working midnights and my schedule's kind of funky. So I'm losing track of the days. I don't know what's going on anymore, but I'm happy to have the job. It's a pretty good job. So I'm not mad about that. It is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I want to remind everyone that it is Women's History Month. The whole month of March is now reserved for us women. We've had a Black History Month for many, many years. And now us women have made great breakthroughs and strides. And we now have a month to celebrate ourselves. So I think that's a beautiful thing. So I am going to be talking about some great women in history for a few seconds, just to celebrate women, because we as women are some pretty dope human beings. We deserve to have a month to celebrate us. I mean, we have Mother's Day in May, but now we have the whole month of March to celebrate just women in general. So, you don't have to be a mother to be celebrated. You can be celebrated in March as a woman because we do a lot for humanity, I believe. What would life be without women? I mean, really. So happy Women's Month, Women's History Month to all my beautiful queens out there. There are some amazing women that I know right here locally in Toledo, Ohio, as well as all over the United States. I've been in the military. I have friends that live in different states. And I even have a friend that lives in Guam, a different country. So I just want to say shout out to all the queens out there who are doing amazing things, living your dream, working hard, busting your butt for your family, and, just making it happen. So shout out to all of you. I would like for you to go over to LRTV and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. I need to get my subscribers up, so I am asking for everyone to go on over to LRTV and subscribe, like, and share. Please, I would appreciate it. So, doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you guys anything at all. You can go over there, subscribe to my channel, start watching, hit that notification bell so you can get notifications when I go live. And I'm going to be having lots of great content. It's not just going to be the Real Lifestyle Morning Show on my YouTube channel. I'm going to be starting a couple different shows real soon too. So you have to stay tuned to my YouTube channel if you want to see everything that I got going on. So I also am going to be eventually getting rid of my Facebook page. In the next couple months, I'm going to be getting rid of my Facebook page, and I'm only going to be operating off of Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So I really, really, really need all of my Facebook friends to go over and follow me on Instagram at I am Leah Renee and on Twitter at I am Leah Renee. And you can also follow LRTV Media on Instagram. So that's where I'm going to be posting all my content. Really trying to get my subscribers and my followers up so that I can start to monetize what I'm doing, because it's hard work what I do and I don't get paid. And I would really love to get paid. So you guys can help your girl out by subscribing, following me, and helping me to build my following so that I can get paid one day. So yeah. Like I said, it's LRTV on YouTube. Go on over there and hit the subscribe button and follow me. So, heavy headlines, right? I got some things in the headlines that I want to talk about. But before I get to that, I have to do the weather and traffic. So, sorry about that. So, it's currently 41 degrees. We've had some scattered showers all morning long, as you guys know. I mean, everybody's kind of been out the house. If you're not even if you were a third shifter, because when I got off work, it was still a little, it was sprinkling a little bit. So, definitely want to make sure you take your rain boots and your rain jacket and your umbrella, because we are supposed to be having some more scattered showers later on in the evening. So we haven't, that's not all the rain you're going to get. So definitely be prepared to see some more rain around 6 or 7 p.m. It's going to last till about 10 p.m. So definitely be prepared for that. We're going to get to a high of about 47 degrees, not too much warmer than where we are now. So don't be too excited about that. We're going to be in the high 30s and low 40s for the whole weekend. So it's going to be a cold weekend. If you have plans this weekend, you're not going to have the greatest of temperatures, but at least it's not going to be snowing, right? So out west in LA and Las Vegas, they're enjoying temperatures in the high 80s today. I'm kind of jealous. I really, really love LA. And I wish I lived there still, but I don't. But if I did, it would be 80 something degrees right now, and it's not. So LA and Vegas is getting great temperatures, and Phoenix has another scorcher. They're sitting at about 95 degrees. Well, they will be at 95 degrees for their high today. And on the East Coast, out in New York, their temperatures are pretty much like ours. They're going to be sitting in the 40s for a little while, but they'll get to a high of about 61. So today they got a little bit better temperatures than what we did, but New York weather is a lot like Midwest weather. So Midwest, East Coast, we got a lot of the same crappy weather. So it is what it is, Hopefully our spring temperatures will start hitting us a little bit more consistently real soon, and we can get some warmer temperatures happening. But for right now, we got to take what we can get. So I do have several traffic updates that I want to give to you guys, but I'm going to have to go over to my Ogo app because there was several of them. So I wanted to be able to get you guys all of the updates. Okay, so State Route 2, which is Airport Highway. It's Airport Highway if you're going out, and then if you're going east back towards the inner city, it turns into Western, and then Western turns into goes all the way straight into Broadway downtown. But State Route 2 is closed in both directions by Cedar Creek between Teach Out Road and Donovan Road in Jerusalem Township. It's closed for a bridge replacement through approximately May 20th. So you have to take to detour and get around that. You have to take 280 to State Route 2, then take that to State Route 51, take State Route 51 to State Route 579, and then take that back to State Route 2. So if you are in Jerusalem Township and you commute in that area, you definitely want to be familiar with the detour because that will be closed down until the end of May. So just be conscious of that. Let me see what else I got in here. Okay, over on Enterprise Boulevard, which is by Alexis Road, you cannot access Enterprise Boulevard from Alexis Road anymore. So motorists will have to use Benor Road, take that to Matzinger Road, and then take Matzinger back to Enterprise. So you cannot access Alexis Road from Enterprise Boulevard anymore. The business driveways will all continue to be maintained right there, but you cannot access Enterprise Boulevard. You can't access Alexis Road from Enterprise. So, like I said, the detour for that is Benor to Matzinger back to Enterprise. So just keep that in mind as well. Let me see. What else do we got going on here? I saw some new construction. The bridge on Nebraska Avenue is now closed. Collingwood up going down to Erie, to the Erie Street Market. So on Nebraska from Collingwood down to Erie Street Market, that bridge is closed down. They are doing repairs over there. So you cannot use that bridge. Also, I've been telling you guys about how the Anthony Wayne Trail, you cannot access North 75 from the Anthony Wayne Trail anymore. Well, now you're not even able to go downtown. You used to be able to get off at Collingwood and downtown and take a detour. But now the downtown exit is closed from the Anthony Wayne Trail. So you cannot get downtown from the Anthony Wayne Trail, you have to exit on Collingwood Boulevard, take a left or a right, and take those detours to wherever your destination is. So just keep that in mind. You cannot take the downtown exit from the Anthony Wayne Trail anymore. And that is going to be closed down and like that all the way through the end of the summer. So just keep that in mind, and just make sure you're paying attention and watch out for the signs. There's lots of signs showing you how to detour and get around those construction closures. So those were all of the updates I had for you guys as far as traffic was concerned. I have seen a couple accidents on the roads today in my commute home from work and while I was out running errands. So let's just be safe out there on the roads. The grounds are still wet. It is still sprinkling a little bit. The roads aren't safe. So just be safe while you're out there driving. You don't want to, so that you can avoid any accidents. And that is your weather and traffic for today. I really will be excited when we can get some more warm weather because I'm tired of the cold. But what I will say is that Aries season is upon us. It is actually, yes, it is Aries season. And your girl, Miss Leah Renee, is the queen Aries of them all. I do truly believe and know that we are the best sign. So, can't argue with me about that. I don't care what you guys think or say. We're the best. No, I'm just playing. But it is Aries season, and my birthday is coming up. April 13th is my birthday. I'm thinking about planning a little like Aries bash. I don't really know. I'm not really good with making plans and planning parties, but I'm thinking about it. Me and my girl Stacia, we've been talking about it, and we're thinking about planning an Aries bash. Speaking of my girl Stacia, I'm going to be on her podcast on April 12th, Tea Talk. So definitely make sure you guys stay tuned to my page and for updates on my podcast interview, because I'm so used to always interviewing everybody else. I rarely get interviewed, but she wanted to interview me and dive into who Leah Renee is a little bit. So I'm pretty excited for that. So make sure you guys stay on the lookout for that. I'm going to get to the headlines because I have my guest that's going to be coming up soon, and he is in the studio and he is waiting for me. So I want to get through these headlines real quick so that we can get him on the line and talk to him. Hi, Philip. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Good morning. Well, it's afternoon now, so good afternoon. Okay, so we're going to talk about these headlines. First of all, like I said, it is Women's History Month. We're celebrating iconic women all month long. And so I do want to first talk about and send condolences to the family of Madeline Albright. She is the first female Secretary of State, and she died at the age of 84 after a battle with cancer. So she just passed away on Wednesday night. Her family, surrounded by her family, and she was 84 years old. She's been battling with cancer for some time now, and she has went on. So I want to send healing prayers and energy out to her family and everyone else who was affected by her death. She has made a great impact in the world and in the our government, and just she filled the role from 1997 to 2001. She was nominated by former President Bill Clinton, and she served in that role, like I said, from 97 to 01. That was after she served as the U.S. ambassador in the United Nations from 93 to 97. So she has a very extensive career in politics and has made a very great impact, and definitely will be missed by many people. So wanted to definitely celebrate her and celebrate her life and all that she accomplished in her career. Another iconic woman is Judge Katanji Brown Jackson, who is our first Black woman to be nominated for the Supreme Court by President Biden. She has been in a lengthy confirmation hearings the last pretty much all this week. They've been really letting her have it. I haven't really watched like the full confirmation hearings, but I've seen clips all over social media. And when I say that these people who were interviewing her, I mean, they were really giving it to her. They were asking her some really tough questions. You could tell some of them wanted her to fold. They thought that she maybe wouldn't give the best answers, but I think she was very, very classy with her in her representation. She represented herself well. She knew when people were throwing shade, but she still knew how to answer, with a professional and in a professional and classy way. And I even saw a picture of her on Facebook. Somebody caught a picture of her while she was sitting there, being interviewed, and her daughter, they caught an angle of her daughter sitting behind her, just looking at her with such admiration and pride. And it was a really beautiful picture. So she's really making strides as, like I said, the first Black woman to be nominated to the Supreme Court. And we will see in the coming days whether or not she actually, is able to step into that role or not. So she was faced with a lot of harsh criticism. She's being accused of being too lenient on sex offenders. They said that she's very soft on crime. But also I would like to just, remind everyone that Thurgood Marshall was our first Black Supreme Court justice ever. And he also faced very harsh judgments. Like in many fields and many industries and positions, us as Black people, we are forced to, we're held at a higher standard. I feel we have to be better than our counterparts. We have to make sure we represent ourselves correctly. And we just have to I feel like, always go above and beyond in order to even get the recognition and acknowledgement that we deserve. And I just think that that's so unfair, especially with the fact that we are now in 2022 and we're still dealing with these sorts of things. So I don't know. I feel like, for someone to have the extensive resume that she has and have the experience and be as qualified as she has, that's why President Joe Biden has nominated her for this position. And yet you have a lot of people who want to try to discredit her, and try to speak negatively about her. And, of course, Mitch McConnell had a lot to say, said he isn't going to support her, but we all know that he doesn't support any Black people, really. So, it is what it is. But just the fact that she has been nominated and put into this position to be able to fight for, not really fight, but, to go and prove herself. Really, that's really what she has to do, is prove herself that she's capable of taking on this role and being the best at it. So, even if she doesn't get the role, it's still congratulations enough, because she's been nominated, and that there is history in itself. So, I'm going to be following that and seeing what happens with that. So, let's see. What else do I got to talk about? Okay, so we all know that Kim and Kanye West have been going through a very messy divorce, I guess you could say. Very, very messy divorce. Back in October, no, I'm sorry, back in January of 2021, rumors started surfacing about marital problems between Kim K and Kanye West. We all know that he's been battling some mental health issues for quite some time, really ever since his mother passed away years ago. And he's been in the tabloids, in the blogs, he's always doing crazy stuff. But his mental health, I think, really started to take a toll on Kim K. She spoke a lot about it on her on her reality show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So she just got to a point where she couldn't take it no more, basically, was what she said. And she officially filed for divorce February 19th, 2021. And then obviously we saw months later that she was linked to Pete Davidson, who she started dating in around October of 2021. She was on Saturday Night Live, where Pete Davidson is a comedian. And that's where they met and began talking and seeing each other, whatever you want to call it. And now they are full blown in a relationship. And Kanye West has just been a mess. He's just been a mess. He's been all over the place. He's on social media making himself look like a complete fool. He's had so much to say. about Kim and, just making negative remarks towards her and about her parenting and things like that. But then he turns around and wants to make these gestures of trying to win her back. Like, one of the gestures I reported on about was he had, I think it was for Valentine's Day, he had sent her a whole pickup truck full of expensive roses and some other antics that he tried, but definitely I guess it's not working because she went on with her life and she's now dating Pete Davidson, and Kanye West is not happy about it. And he recently made a video, came out with a song called Easy featuring The Game, and they did the video, and in the video he depicts kind of like a cartoon of Pete Davidson basically being kidnapped and murdered and his head decapitated. It's pretty disturbing, actually. I watched the video earlier and I was just like, God, this is crazy. He is crazy. He's crazy. But Pete Davidson has basically had enough, and he clapped back at Kanye West during in a thread of text messages where Kanye West had asked him what he was doing, and Pete Davidson said, "I am in the bed with your wife." So I was like, wow, it's getting messier and messier. Now, I don't know if you all have seen Soulja Boy in the blogs, like basically going at Kanye West and, making fun of him and taunting him. Well, Soulja Boy has stepped up and basically said that he's now clapping back at Pete Davidson for clapping at Kanye West. So Soulja Boy, who normally has a lot to say about Kanye West and is always making fun of him, and, he's been making all types of comments and everything like that, he now has went at Pete Davidson on Instagram and basically told Pete Davidson that Pete Davidson, don't talk to Kanye West like that. He basically said, boy, don't talk to Kanye West like that. And I actually had the video. I meant to bring it into the studio for me so I could show you guys, but I didn't do that because I had to go run some errands this morning and I just got a little bit backtracked and I wasn't able to upload my videos. But yes, there is a video online that you can find of Soulja Boy coming at Pete Davidson and basically telling him, do not come at Kanye West like that. And he even goes on to say, can't nobody talk to Kanye West like that but me. You ain't Big Draco. It's really funny. So if you haven't seen the video, you should go check it out. It's really funny. You can find it on YouTube. All you have to do is type in Soulja Boy claps back at Pete Davidson, and you're going to see this video of Soulja Boy going in on Pete Davidson, basically telling him that he will get effed up if he keeps coming at Kanye like that. So he says, he even goes on to say, can't nobody come at Kanye or talk to Kanye West like that but me. So that was pretty funny. Somebody else, another celebrity who had some things to say, some choice words for Kanye was D.L. Hughley. D.L. Hughley has been vocal about Kanye West before, saying that, he just needs to stop. He just needs to stop. And now with this whole depiction of the video and everything that he's doing, taunting her and taunting her new boyfriend, D.L. Hughley has said, this is basically stalking. And he said, like, he doesn't think it's funny. He doesn't agree with it. He thinks it's crazy that people in the media and different people, in the entertainment industry are basically okaying this and making it, making a joke out of it. He says that if this would have been anybody else, who doesn't have clout and who isn't famous, that this would be considered stalking. And, a lot of times these situations are laughed at and made jokes out of until something happens to the woman involved and then she's hurt. And then people, are like, oh God, she was in this, abusive stalker relationship, whatever. But, he basically was just saying, if that was his daughter, he would do something about it. And he feels like that Kanye West is a mess. He has no respect for him. He feels like he's just out here wilding. So, I totally agree with D.L. Hughley. I think that this is crazy. I mean, the marriage has come to an end. You need to just move on with your life. Like, you first said that you wanted her back. Now you're acting crazy, doing all of these crazy things. You're definitely not going to win her back like that. So I pray for them because, they have 4 beautiful children between them. Their oldest daughter, Northwest, is old enough now. She's in the blog. She's a celebrity in her own right. And she can see, obviously, what's going on between her parents, and her siblings one day will be able to see what's going on between her parents. And it's really sad. It's sad to see a family break up and go through this type of, tragedy. And, I just wish prayers for Kanye West because he's clearly dealing with some things and he needs to get it together. So anyway, that's what I have for you in the headlines today. I'm going to cut it a little short. I had a couple other things, but I'm going to cut it short because I did get started a little late today. And I have Mr. Gerald Rose, who is on standby for me. So we're going to bring him in just a second. So I'm going to take a quick break, about 30 seconds, and I'll be coming back to bring Mr. Gerald Rose Emerson in. Or Gerald Emerson Rose. Sorry about that. So stay tuned. And I'm back. Thank you guys for that quick, brief pause. Where did he go? Well, we might have to pause for a few more seconds because I just lost him. I just lost him from the feed. So he might have accidentally hit a button or something, and we lost him. So we'll just give him a couple seconds to come back in. Stay tuned, guys. Well, I'm going to just ad-lib a little bit while we wait for Gerald to come back in. There he is. He's back. He's back. He's back. So let's bring him in. There he is. Hi. How are you, Gerald?
Doing okay. Just busy as usual.
Yes, I thought I lost you for a second there. I was like, no, where'd he go? So how are you? How is life? What's going on with you, Gerald Rose?
I do miss home, but God is good. Since I've been to Atlanta, I've been from a local organization to a national human rights organization. I do a lot of traveling now. I remember watching my dad as a young kid in Toledo. You probably remember my dad, who was an icon, who's continued my mentor. He's up in age now, but he still has his senses. But
that name is definitely a very well-known name. I've definitely heard your guys' name. I obviously didn't know him personally, but yes, definitely have heard of him.
Yeah,
so before we get too far into New Order, let's talk a little bit about you and your background for the listeners and viewers who don't know who you are. You are a Toledo native, right? So you grew up in Toledo?
That is correct. Yes, I went to Rogers High School.
Born and raised?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you were a Ram. My daughter's a Ram.
Oh yeah, I'm a Ram. And back then high school was fun. These days, kids, there's so much going on. You can't even enjoy teen life. You know what I mean?
It's crazy.
We had issues and stuff that, we was, fights and stuff, but, going and getting a gun and killing folks and this and that. We didn't, I stayed
babies.
Yeah, it's bad all over this country, but
it's really bad.
But I do, I come home sometimes on, sometimes personal or business, it depends what it is,
But what schools did you go to coming up in Toledo?
I went to Mount Vernon Elementary School, then I went to McTighe, and then I went to Rogers.
Okay, and then did you try college out?
1 year with Alabama and A&M. 1 year, Dad said, "You got to come home."
It wasn't for you.
It was for me, but I was just didn't take it serious. But when I got home, Dad was like, "Look, you're not staying here. What you gonna do?" So I went into the military for 4 years.
Thank you for your service.
Right.
So where were you stationed at in the military?
First command was in Yokosuka, Japan.
Oh, wow.
The first 2 years. Then I went to California for 2 years.
Oh, that had to be nice.
Yeah.
So you said you were in the military for 4 years, and then you get out of the military. What did you decide to do then?
I came home for about a couple of 3 years. Then I moved to Atlanta, Georgia.
What year was it when you moved to Atlanta?
94.
Okay. Oh yeah. So you've been there a long time now.
Oh didn't turn back.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, so talk about you gave a little bit of background about your dad, but talk a little bit more about him and how he started, and got you into, human rights and being an activist, and just give a little bit of background about him and how you guys all got into it, and then how you founded New Order.
Well, actually, as a kid, my dad was the voice for the voiceless, and I seen him doing things. I looked at dad as, dad, this is dangerous. My mom be like, them folks don't love you out there. These people don't care about you. But he said, when God called you to do something, that's the only one you answered to.
That's
I remember
right.
our church and house was put on fire. Death threat calls came in every day.
Oh,
It was
wow.
not easy. I remember the mayor came to our house for dinner. I met Rosa Parks, Minister Farrakhan,
Wow.
in our church. I was exposed to human rights, civil rights as a young kid. I have three other siblings. One of my siblings just passed away. God bless him. So it rubbed off on me. I never thought it was me, but it rubbed off on me back in the early 90s, where two of my best friends was killed execution style. They used to cut my dad grass. And for some reason, something hit me. I always followed my dad from afar, but it actually hit home. And I decided to get involved. My dad went on a 19-day fast, and he explained the reason why. He said, son, I need you to go outside and call a press conference to explain, why I'm fasting. I want to be secure from the public, but it's going through a spiritual crisis right now, asking God to give me the answers to change the people mindset of kids in our community. Because he always said, how can we fight the devil? We keep fighting each other.
Right.
Things like that. So again, something like hit me. I had a dream that night that, that I got involved myself. But that a couple of days later, I got a call from Birmingham, Alabama, from the guy I went to school with. I call him my cousin because we're real close. He said, Gerald, I see that you getting started in Toledo, but if you move to the South, the birthplace of Dr. King, all of the historic of the civil rights movement, we got Birmingham 2.5 hours from Atlanta, Jackson, Mississippi, your vision can really grow. So I thought
Right.
about it, on it, and that's where I'm at here now. And God is good. I do a lot of traveling. You remember the Sandra Bland case?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't just see it from afar. I didn't wait on Jesse and Al, and I went to Jackson, Mississippi to demand justice for Sandra Bland.
Wow.
Got major media exposure. It ain't all about that. It ain't all about sin. It's all about getting a solution, because everybody was upset about Sandra Bland. I was just a piece of the pie, not from afar complaining about it, but I was being about it.
Yeah.
I went to Jackson, Mississippi to address the James Craig Anderson case. I don't know if you heard about that case. I helped out Michael Vick here in Atlanta,
Oh,
T.I.
okay. Yeah.
T.I. God taught me well. Of course, my dad taught me well. So God is good. Now I'm just like all over the place. And we just every third Saturday of each month, we take our kids to the Apex African Art Museum to teach our kids the real history is not being taught in school, because
Right.
here in
Yeah, we were
Georgia,
lied to.
right, because they're about to pass a law where there's no Black History Month no more in the school. So we said, you know what, we're going to do it for ourselves. Sometimes we can't keep stuff handed over to us. We must take
Right.
initiative and go get it and go forward. We're averaging about 50 kids every third Saturday, and word is getting out here in Atlanta. Now, this ain't Toledo. This is Atlanta, Georgia,
Yeah.
where everybody's doing the same thing. But now, the song Mike Jones, you didn't know me, now you hot, you all on me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
When I first came here, like, man, who's this little guy from Ohio? And I try to explain what's going on, but now I'm getting grabbed everywhere. You just don't know, Leah. God is good.
Yes, he is.
So I just keep doing what I'm doing it for the people first, and that's the main thing.
So what are some of the things that you have done that has kind of, or maybe I should say, what are some of the things that God has done? What are some of the things that or opportunities he's placed you in that you never expected or never even believed would happen? And talk about those experiences.
To be honest, when something goes down here in Atlanta, I don't work very hard. It ain't all about being on TV, but when the media calls you, say, well, Mr. Rose, do you have a comment on the Trayvon Martin case? Do you have a comment on the Maud Arbery case? This is high profile cases. when I could just call the media to my house and do a press conference like my dad did in Ohio. We talking about Toledo and I'm talking about Atlanta. Like, wow. I'm like, is I'm really doing this? People are really paying attention, but again, I always talk about where I come from. I talk about my dad a lot. I always put him on Facebook. So they see where I got my drive from, and things like that. But it's just, I think I made the best move I could ever make, but I always paying attention and I get calls from Toledo about issues that's going on there as well.
Yeah, I think that is amazing. I didn't know that you were, I didn't know that you had been kind of like affiliated in such a major way and, had such an impact. Where does your passion come from? What keeps you going? I mean, obviously, like you said, it's not, you're not doing it for, fame and money. So what keeps you driven to continue to give of your time, your energy, and yourself?
Because I got help now. When I say not I, but we, I have staff members that got my back locally and nationwide. I have a national research team. It makes my job easier. Like before I go I travel going to a city, I know I can reach out to my research team to provide research that I need. I have a marketing team that market the organization on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook all day. I have my frontline people. I just came from Macon, Georgia, and had a press conference there about the black on black crime that's going on there. So it ain't just Gerald right now. It's not I, but we. It's just the fact I said, God, why me? He said, why not? Because if you're being out here front and being fake, he will expose you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And these folks know my heart. They know my history, and my work has been proven, so that's why it's much easier because I can't do all this by myself. This is a big city.
Yeah.
This is not no small. Then of course you got Birmingham next door. You got the state of Alabama. I was in Montgomery like 2 months ago, standing with the Nation of Islam. One thing I can achieve when I came down here and I spoke at a town hall meeting, Minister Sharif is the right-hand man of Minister Farrakhan. He said, I need to speak to that brother. I said, hey, how you doing, sir? I'm not a Muslim, but he said, you know what? We're black people first, and I got your back. He said that. I said, sir, what do you mean by that? He said, I got your back. So if you ever need us, you just let us know. So I call him for security all the time. When I go to these unfamiliar places, I call Minister Sharif, and he said, okay, what I need to do for you? That's a privilege.
Yeah, absolutely.
The nation is really worried about building their own nation. But when Farrakhan came to Atlanta, I was one of his honorees on the backstage at the Fox Theater. I met Killer Mike. Man, y'all just don't know. God has been good because they know that I'm real about my business. This is not a game. And then it's like deja vu because even back in the day, Leah, if you didn't know that, the Nation of Islam used to march with my dad. I remember he marched to the Franklin Park Mall to demand jobs for the minority community. So it's like deja vu that's going on here in Atlanta. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that's amazing. So what do you think are some strides that you've maybe wanted to cross that you haven't been yet able to cross? What have been some challenges or what are some things that you still feel needs to be done?
Well, one thing I learned, Leah, when you're doing the real work, you're going to have haters and all that, and people talk about you, so that's what's going on. My dad told me what's not going to be a gravy road, because if you're doing the real work, that mean they talking about you. But if they ain't saying that, that mean you're not doing nothing. So I kind of get in controversial cases, and when God say move, I move. I don't listen to nobody else sometimes, so basically it can get a little harder sometimes. I remember Peter attacked me, was attacking me big time on a national level when I was in support, not of dog fight, but I was in support of Michael Vick. Because when a athlete gets in trouble, they're automatic convicted in the media. But I knew Michael Vick behind the scenes on the great stuff he was doing. But for some reason, when the media see you do something, they come after you.
Yeah.
But they really don't know this person. Vic started a football kid for camp. So I was trying to let people know that there is a good side.
Yeah, there's more to him than that.
Right. And so I was the only one. Old Gerald Rose from Toledo, Ohio, went to Georgia Dome and had a big press conference and said, hey, to give this man a second chance. I went to Flowery Branch and met with the Falcons. I met with some dog human rights activists. I said, would you give Michael Vick a chance, once he served his time in prison? And look what happened when he got out. Now everybody like, oh man, I see why you did, but they didn't see my vision.
Yeah.
It was more than fighting dogs. It was because of the color of his skin. I'm just being honest with you. He was the highest player at that. I see stuff highly than what it is.
And it's crazy too, because I remember when that was all going on. I can't remember what year was that all that happened.
2007.
Okay, so yeah, so that was before I actually made it into the media world, but I remember, I always knew I was going to be in media, so I've always been that person, following headlines, following stories, telling people about what's going on. And I remember when that was happening, and I remember just thinking to myself, like, these people are so mad that he's been fighting dogs, but like, what about our Black people getting killed in the streets by police officers for years and years and years? You guys don't have that type of anger. You don't have that type of energy for us, but you have it for some dogs. Now, I mean, I'm not a big animal lover or anything, and I hate to sound incompassionate of animals, but I'm just saying there's bigger issues going on. There's bigger things that need to be, taken care of. And we have Black people dying every day at the hands of police officers who are supposed to be there to protect us. And we don't even get that type of anger from people for us. But because this man is fighting dogs, you guys want to crucify him. And like you said, it wasn't about the dogs. It was about the color.
That's right. Right. And you know what? This country is so divided right now. Even when Trump was in office, it's been bad like this for years. It's just the fact when people say they thank Trump for allowing seeing people that was hidden behind closed doors was very, very racist, and things like that. So it's just the fact that, I just can't give up. But I'm gonna be honest with you, we got our own issues as well, and it makes me mad we already got to go against somebody else because of color of our skin, but then we're going against each other. It makes me wonder why I got to be like that. That's why we take our kids, our youth, to the Apex Museum. It's called the Apex Museum here in Atlanta. A lot of celebrity stars know about this Apex Museum, and God is good. My organization just partnership up with them, let them know that Black History Month is every month, and so we've been doing this partnership for the last 2 months. We've been averaging like 50-some kids, and we want to get the word out, so we some beautiful, smart, intelligent people, but when a lot of kids are being raised that there's no fathers in the home, you're raising there's no food in the refrigerator, they got to do what they got to do. Sometimes we got to blame ourselves, but there's no excuse. There's no excuse of what's going on. But I remember when I was a kid, we had family meetings. I was scared to get in trouble. These day kids, they're not even scared to get in trouble in school.
They're not scared at all.
No, I mean, it's just, I remember my dad came up to Chase Elementary School. I was in the 3rd grade, and I slapped the principal for they tried to make me eat something. My dad was like, I remember that conversation at 3rd grade. He said, this is the last time I'm coming to the school because you're making me lose money.
Right.
I ain't in no trouble. So I understand I was afraid of my parents, but my parents was never abusive, but I understand the word punishment and in the household.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to ask you, I mean, they're kind of two different platforms, or not really platforms, but two different issues. But I'm a little curious with everything that's going on right now in the Ukraine and Russia, invading Ukraine and all. I mean, granted, it's horrible what's going on over there. I mean, I've been watching and I see millions of people, which many of them are children or have been displaced, and it's really sad. I'm very sad for the people of Ukraine. However, what are your thoughts on like how willing our government is to run to aid another nation or another, group of people? However, we as Black people are still in this nation trying to fight for our freedom, fight for our benefits, fight for our rights. What are your thoughts on that? On the fact that they can send millions and billions of dollars over there, but yet, let's talk about the Black people in Flint who are still trying to get reparations for, you know, the poisonous water they've drank for years and years and years, or, you know, things like that, you know, that are going on right here in our own backyard. What is your thoughts on that?
I'm glad you said about Flint, Michigan. I didn't just talk about it, be about it. Me and a couple of my staff members traveled to Flint, Michigan to be there in person, to witness the water being poisoned, a lot of kids being defective after drinking the water. And it put
And are
tears in.
still to this day having long-term issues, health issues because of it.
Yes, yes. So I understand that what Flint is going through. And sometimes I post stuff on my Facebook page as of right now, say, you know, Flint is still in our prayers. But I understand what you just said, because I say that all the time. It's like the United States is more like a bully country. We're supposed to be in the best country in this world or whatever, but we all in somebody else's business.
Yeah,
You know,
always.
like you can send all that money over to these other countries, but we got a lot of homeless people in our own backyard.
Exactly.
You know, that we can fix. We got the money, so it's just the fact that I do understand exactly where you're coming from, Leah, because I hear that conversation all the time. It's just the fact, you know, I just hate that when we have our own issues that can be easily fixed because we got money, you know, and then we going over there to support these a lot of these countries hate us. Like the
Right.
young girl is going through it right now, the basketball player.
Yes, and that's so crazy. I spoke on that yesterday on my show.
Then see black people, they gonna take their time.
Brittany Reiner, I believe her name is.
Griner, that's correct, yeah.
Yeah, and
So I'm
yeah,
praying
she's
for
been
her
over there
safety right
for,
now.
and it's so crazy because, like I even said yesterday on the show, even with that, it's a little frustrating because it's like, you know, as a woman, you know, we feel, you know, as Black people, we're already, you know, put on this, you know, we're affected, we're oppressed. But then I feel like as women, we're oppressed even more because, you know, we have to compete with men, and then we have to compete with all of our other counterparts, and then even this particular story, like, you know, someone put up a meme, and that's actually how I found out about this story. I was on Facebook and somebody had shared a meme saying, you know, this woman has been in a Russian prison for, you know, I don't even know how long. It's been, I think,
it's been about a little bit over a month or a little bit longer, maybe.
yeah. And I had just found out about it.
Right. So
So
you
I
don't
had
know what's
found out
going
about the
on.
story and found out that she had been there, like you said, for about a month. And I'm like, that's crazy to me, because had that been, say, LeBron James or Steph Curry or, you know, a male athlete that's, you know, a little more famous or a little more prominent or whatever, I think that it would be very different. The story would be covered from all media angles, from, you know, I mean, it would be such a huge story. And the fact that we have this woman from America fighting for her freedom in Russia in a prison and no one's even talking about it.
True.
That's crazy.
I know that shows how the mentality is. You know, one thing I know Americans, one thing about us Black people, I wish we could work together more strong. Now, this is not a Black thing because of her. Now, let me just clear that up.
Right.
Come us working together economic wise, we don't do that no more, Leah.
Yeah, I agree. And I say too, I
Back in the
mentioned
day,
I'm sorry.
when King that's okay. When King was affected, they worked together financially, like boycotts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't do that no more. We could easily fix these problems financially if we want to. It's just the fact we're too lazy. We don't sacrifice.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, they had so much less than we did now. You know, I mean, back then they had so little to work with, and they still fought and fought and fought, you know, and here we are now. We're just kind of like, whatever, we'll let everybody else handle it.
Right. You know, so it's aggravating. You know, we got this little freedom. We live in these big old houses and doing better financially. But, you know, if we go back to old school, we really fight for some rights. Us as Black people, we could shut this country down if we really wanted to financially. But we too afraid right now. But then we complain about what's going on. It's time to go to work.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like too, you know, men and women need to, Black men and women, I feel like there's this thing between us now, you know, as time has progressed. I feel like we're getting further and further from each other. You know, it was once Black people all stuck together, and, you know, the men were there for the women, the women were there for the men. And now it's like the men are even against the women and the women are against the men and we all hate each other. It's like everybody's out for self. Like you said, nobody wants to put in the work. Nobody wants to be a part of a team. Everybody wants to be a boss and be an entrepreneur. And, and it takes it, like you said, you have a team now. It takes a team. Like you were very, adamant about the fact that you're not the one doing the work by yourself. It's your team.
Oh,
it's all of you guys as a team.
And
that's the problem. There's not enough people trying to work together as a team.
Right. And I always acknowledge them on Facebook because, again, I cannot do this work. But one thing I can say, they're on the same level as me. They see the vision. This thing is way bigger than me. I always tell people that, this is just something that God had blessed me to get something started here in Atlanta. But, this thing can easily be shut down. But I know my heart and I know it's real, and that's why blessings is coming our way every day.
Yeah.
But I always give a shout out to my staff. That's why we have this thing, not I, but we, and things like that. So I really, but when it comes to interviews of my hometown, I would jump. And when I reached out to you, anything that I can do on my end to help you out, or I have a national radio show called Real Talk with New Order every second and fourth Saturday each month. And I like to have you call in my show, because one thing about us, we have to work together. We can't have this thing. It's not somebody advanced it quicker than somebody. I don't have that attitude. If it's your time to shine, it's your time. When God said it's time for Leah to shine, it's time to shine. Like I heard you earlier that you're going to be leaving Facebook. That means you elevating, Leah. You see a bigger vision that God is putting in your heart to make you bigger than what you are. That's elevating. So I ain't mad at you, so if I can help you elevate and using my platform, I would do that. But some of us do not want to work together.
Yeah, that's the major problem. There's too many people who don't want to work together. Everybody wants to get the glory and nobody wants to put in the work.
It's like we're the only race like that. You know what I'm saying?
But
I can do
it is sad because it's like, although you want to say, okay, we can't continue to make excuses, we can't continue to be angry, we have to do it for ourselves. It's like, that's why I feel like we're the only race that's like that, is because we've been done so bad for so long. People are they just have a lot of people just have no hope, no no drive, I don't know. It's sad.
Yeah, but one thing, we got to keep doing what we're doing, because this is bigger than me and you. God placed this in our lap, and He said, "Go for it." And again, like I said, when Leah, one thing I see what you're doing, I really applaud you. But when the people are talking, that means you're doing something good. So I ignore all that stuff, and just keep focused on what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so do you have any events or anything coming up soon that we should know about?
Well, I could tell you every second Tuesday of each month, and I'm starting to do this in Toledo. I was going to mention, I don't know how much time we got left, but I do got 2 strong members in Toledo that's behind the scenes. But every second Tuesday of each month, I go into like a halfway house when young men are just getting out of prison. I do like motivational speaking. Okay. I already reached out to the Toledo Museum, to be honest, one of my staff members, where I know they have a certain area where they're teaching that they have Black History Month. And I'm trying to set something up behind the scenes, and I'm going to bring some programs to my hometown. For some reason, my dad always told me, he said, "Jerry, you're not there no more. Leave them fools alone." Well, he's just joking or whatever, because he used to say there was some scary Negroes there. I don't want to get into that or whatever. But he was like, "Why you continue to?" Because I said, "Dad, this is where it started at, and this is where we get a lot of calls from Help Leah as far as help in Toledo, believe it or not. So for some reason, I can't let it go." But
I'm glad you can't, because you can't forget where you come from, and at the end of the day, it's going to take like you said, you said sometimes you ask God, why me, and He says, why not you? He needs people like you and me to be His prophets, and to go and get out here and do the work. I mean, we just have to. We have no choice.
I get criticized a lot. He said he always come here and stir up this mess and go back to Atlanta. But anyway,
stirring up no mess, because the mess is already here. So if anybody trying to blame you for coming and stirring up some mess, they know they wrong.
Yeah, sometimes I'll be on a call with Chief. You just don't know. I got Chief Crawl on speed dial. I got y'all mayor on speed dial. So I do be like, when stuff go down, I call Chief Crawl, say, hey, what's going on? I got this call about this complaint. But one thing about my organization, Leah, we go off facts and not emotions. Because when you go off facts, you get a solution.
Yes,
so if
absolutely.
we get involved in anything, paperwork have to be filled out. It has to go through a severe screening process, because if I'm going to do God's work and put my life on the line, I want to make sure that I get victory at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
You know, and things like that. But not to change. I apologize. I changed subjects. But again, every second and fourth Saturday, I do my Real Talk with New Order. Then also we have another media platform. It's called Real Talk with New Order. We do on DKM Radio. Every third Saturday, we down at the Apex Museum. There's no downtime. And then again, I travel a lot. I mean, I be on the road a lot, you know, so it's never no down. When you're doing this work, there's not so-called a word called downtime. You know,
tell me about it.
Legal department.
I worked a job last night from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. Ran some errands from 8 a.m. to about 10:30 a.m. And now here I am on the live with you.
Right. But when you got that drive, when you got that drive, that heart, and you making people's lives differently and getting results at the end of the tunnel, I love it. But you get enemies at the same time now.
Oh yeah, don't I know?
Yeah. That's not going to be just the fact you're doing the real work, you know. But just thank God that I'm sorry, that's my phone. I apologize. Oh, that's my second. Yeah. But Leah, I say I have good members. My secretary, she don't live in Atlanta. She lives in Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh, wow.
My public relations, she lives in the state of Kansas. My legal researcher lives in the state of Texas. I'm planting seeds all over this country. My hometown don't even know this. And a lot of my lawyers behind the scenes. So when something happens, we'll do our little research. Next thing you know, I'm knocking at your door and they're trying to figure out, where do these people come from? I just recruited a young man yesterday. He been in Atlanta. He been following me on Facebook for a while. He just relocated from New York in Atlanta. He called me up, you know, and I'm getting with him. You know, it's just the fact that God is really moving, and there's some people out here that's really wondering all about change. It's just the fact they got to find an outlet that's serious about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we all got to go one day. We can't save our, you know, but I always say no one's going to save our children for us but us.
That's right.
Again, if we save one child, we reached our goal, because we can't save the world.
Yeah, and we can't save them all. You're right.
But at least we're trying.
Mm-hmm.
That's the part. So when people talking that stuff, what are you doing? You don't have the right to criticize if you ain't doing nothing.
Right.
You know, that's the ones that really irk me, the ones that criticize and you don't even know what type of person I am, or you just sitting back, just watching everything, you know, and just complain about, but what are you doing?
Right. Yep. And those are the ones that complain the most, the people who are doing nothing at all. But, you know, like you said, if they're not talking, you ain't doing nothing. So I definitely appreciate all that you're doing, you know, in this community and in the nation, you know, and obviously just in the world. You are making a great impact. And I know that you're going to continue to do so. I definitely want you to stay connected with me and LRTV, because I
finally tracked you down.
My brand. I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling in the next, you know, year or two. And
if you ever come down to Atlanta and you want to get into the studio, or even if you want to call in, you just let me know. Right now, I consider us friends for life, because we have to work together. Both of us has two major platforms, and stuff need to get out what we're doing.
I agree. So thank you for taking the time to talk to me this morning. It's been wonderful talking to you. I'm definitely
give out a website and a phone number right quick, if you don't mind.
Yes, please give out your information. Let them know where they can find you and how they can donate or help or volunteer or anything.
But I don't give out cell numbers no more. I give out my office number. But when you get crazy calls sometimes, you know, you got to protect yourself.
Oh, yeah.
For information about New Order, you can visit our website at www.nonhro.org, or you can give us a call at 1-800-346-5138, or you can give us a donation at Cash App, through Cash App, $ New Order donations, all one word. We go through PayPal. You can follow me on Facebook. I have 4 different platforms. I have a private page. It's called New Order for Life. Public page, NONHRO. I have a we have a youth foundation as well. It's called New Order Youth Foundation. Again, you can find all that on social media. If you want to not just talk about it, but be about it, we're always looking for volunteers. But if you're not serious, I will not lend my hand out, because this is to the point now where you can become enemies, but God got my back. I'm not worried about, because we got to go someday. At least I'm going to leave this earth, and I'm fighting for my kids, the future kids, because somebody did it for us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, we definitely wouldn't be where we are now without the people that came before us fighting for us.
Right. Well, Leah, thanks again. Finally chased you down, got your attention. Because I know when you was on your other platform, I said, "What is this?" I kept inboxing you. Probably like, "Who's this psycho person?"
No, I wasn't thinking that. My inbox goes crazy, especially when I was was doing the show with the 419 grind. I mean, I just always had a lot of people, even now I still have a lot of people who reach out to me on a daily basis, and now I don't have a team. It's just me. So, I'm trying to do the best I can, and making sure
that the last time I was in Toledo, I went on your former show. Had a good time,
I love them over there. We are still cool. I talk to them, I talk to Shay K all the time, and I've spoken to Jesse a couple times since then. No bad blood or bad feelings, it's just sometimes you just have to,
when God say it's your time to do your own thing, you had to make a move. People got to understand that. It's like when I wanted to start this organization, when it's time, you really don't have to explain to no one. It's just, that little birdie went inside your head, and God, like, it's time. It said, "Leah, it's time to do your thing." So you're going where your heart at. You have to do what you have to do.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you reaching out to me. I appreciate you even wanting to be on my show and be on my platform. And I definitely would love to be on yours as well. I think I would much rather just come and be in person, though. It's not
sure?
the same. So I'm definitely planning. I'm planning to get down there to Georgia soon. Try to make it happen. So I definitely will be connected with you. Like you said, we're friends for life now. Stay connected.
I don't work very hard down here for many years, so I got some contacts. You just let me know. I look out for my home girl now.
Awesome. That's what I need. That's what I love to hear. You might have me moving back to Georgia. I lived in Georgia in 2013 for a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Here in Atlanta?
Yep, in Atlanta.
Okay, all right. Well, the weather is nice. I noticed you were saying when you're doing your forecast, I'm just shaking myself. Thank God I ain't got to go through that no more.
Yeah, I don't know. Your guys' weather is kind of funky too, though, down there.
I know, but it's not a real winter. I remember my brother, rest in peace. He was like, "That's costing me. It's cold." He said, "Boy, you ain't cold down there. It's cold up here."
Yeah, what's so funny though is that year that I moved there was that year that you guys had that real bad winter and them snowstorms, and it had snowed for like the first time in I don't know how long, and everybody was going so crazy, like they'd cut down the highways, and I was like, it's not even a whole lot of snow.
They would shut down the city quick. It's like you smiling. I play along with it, knowing ain't nothing wrong with me. Right. Knowing my car ain't stuck in that so-called snow because they shut everything down.
Yeah, it was funny.
Right.
Well, I have had such a good time talking to you again. I appreciate you taking out your time out of your busy schedule, because I know you're a busy man. So thank you. I will definitely be connected with you so that we can team up and collab, and like you said, just help each other out any way we can. So thank you.
I but we. Remember that word. Remember that word. It's not I but we. That's us right there. I but we.
All right. Well, I appreciate you. You have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend, and keep up the good work out there.
All right, thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too.
All right.
Again, that was Gerald Rose, founder of New Order. He is a political activist, a human rights activist. He just does a lot in the community, making strides. His father was a legend before him, and now he's becoming a legend in his own right. And so I appreciate him stopping in, or dropping in, should I say, to talk to me this morning. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate everyone who tunes into LRTV. If you have not already went over and liked, subscribe to the channel, please go over to LRTV on YouTube and subscribe to my channel, like and share. And make sure you guys stay tuned. I'll be back on Monday morning for another great show. And I hope you all have a great weekend. And until next time. Mwah.